That one egg was 40 eggs?
That's a big fucking pile of garbage.
I'm the farting demon in this relationship.
I'd be an awesome rich person.
You're both just an embarrassment.
God, I'm awesome.
We're talking Tom Hanks and his vehicle.
Yeah, I had my finger in my mouth waiting for you to finish.
You gotta get 4 balls or something.
Dick piercing?
No, you know damn well I'm fucking that demon. It's still sexy.
How could that be close and not be
Yeah,
right?
I'll kill some random dude.
If you want cheese, you get a milk.
You're waiting for me.
No, I can hate on it. It sucked. Boners.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Plotty Time. We are counting down for our end of the year episodes the top 5 games we discussed in 2024. And with me, as always, is Chump Slap and Dr. Syintist. How are you guys today? You guys doing well?
Fantastic, man.
I've been better.
This is like the season, Christmas season. Feeling all right.
There you go. Feeling good about it? Good.
Yeah, I get
good.
1 day off of work. It's pretty nice.
Wow. Just to give you guys a brief idea of previous years and such, last year in 2023, our number one game was Spec Ops The Line at a 60, a 6-0.
That was mostly you.
Yeah, you
If
gave
I
me like a
remember
26.
correct. Yeah.
Yes,
It was
because
a
that
really
was
good
the
story, though.
Yeah, it was.
Well, let me put it this way, with the scores you guys gave the Spec Ops The Line, 18 and 16, that combines to be 34. I would have to given it just a 6, and it would have tied this year's number one game.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Are we getting more jaded?
I don't think so. I think we're just doing more crap.
I think we've reached a point where
No, we're just picking small, short videos that we don't have to spend more than 15 minutes watching, and there's not really that good.
Scientists, you're giving the secrets away. Shut up.
I mean, it's definitely part of it, but I think the other thing is we're at the point where all the bangers that we want to talk about have like 7-hour videos, and we
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
Most of the ones I
watch
look
those.
at, if they're over like 2.5.
yeah. Who the fuck has the time?
like I would love.
Well, I mean, if you didn't
love-
play 800 hours of Call of Duty,
Okay,
If I didn't have a
easy.
job,
If this was our job, I would absolutely watch an 8-hour video once a week.
I'd watch a 16-hour video every 2 days. Make this my job.
I'd make it every 3 days.
All right, yeah.
Maybe once a
seriously.
week, actually, we had to get it done.
Like, seriously, you're going to make me work 8 hours a day?
What is this, America? Get the fuck outta here. But there you go. So we're going to go down our top 5 games. We're going to talk about them a little bit. Then we're going to play a clip. You guys know all this shit. If you're listening to this end of the year roundup, then you are very well aware of what we do. So
And we love you for it.
thanks for being here.
Yeah, seriously.
We appreciate it. Now, actually, before we get into that, I want to talk about a couple games that did not make the list for our top 5 of the year, but I still think, deserve
Honorable
a little bit of
mentions?
credit. Yeah, a couple honorable mentions just outside the realm here. Like, for example, a game that I played several times, I very much enjoyed, didn't make this list.
Dr. Mario.
Ghostbusters the game.
What?
That was a ton of fun. Ghostbusters the game.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot we did that this year.
Yeah, it was a great game. I did enjoy it. The shit out of that. I always wanted to play it again.
I think it's worth it. I played the remaster that came out for PS4, and it was tons of fun. They get the vibe right
Yeah.
I think
of
I
being a
bought
Ghostbuster.
it and just never downloaded it to my PlayStation. Like recently.
The remaster.
Yeah. I think it was on sale.
I'm going to have to look into that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have one, because I bought that that was PS3 days, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I bought that when it was new.
Yeah,
And
me
I
too.
Enjoyed the shit out of it.
That was it had co-op multiplayer that you could play online. And it was like level attack stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You get like a score based on how fast you were, how much shit you destroyed, how many zombies or ghosts you captured or whatever. And I remember hating that mostly because I didn't have any friends.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And they took that away for the remaster. So you didn't even
Perfect.
worry about exactly. That's what I said. If you're on the fence, if you're like, I loved playing that, I should try that again. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy the playthrough. And it's not that long of a playthrough. Like,
Dude, even if
10,
they did
12
like
hours.
a leaderboard for single player, that'd be fun.
no, they don't, unfortunately, but that would be sick.
But get on that. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
really, whatever.
I like to see world champion speeds and shit, and if you can get close to them or anything. Yeah,
I wonder if there is a thriving Ghostbuster speed run. Let's see what it is. Keep on going, Poppascotch.
yeah.
Keep
I
talking.
doubt it, but yeah.
While you look that up, another game that we talked about, still outside the list, but one that we all enjoyed. I think we all played it, maybe.
That's a good question.
Pretty sure. But Borderlands, the pre-sequel,
Oh yeah, of course we all
Yeah.
played.
got
that.
a 29 just outside.
That was the one where we were on the moon and you had the fucking air
Yep.
things that you had to buy.
They introduced the the O2 system thing.
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, like by the time you got upgraded, the timer was so long you never.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
never was an issue later in the game, but
But in the beginning, it was very tense. I remember
Yeah.
it in the first couple levels. It was
Yeah.
very tense.
Ghostbuster speedrun, any percent, 2 hours, 28 minutes.
I can do it in 2:20.
Go ahead. Beat the speedrun. That's from 5 years ago. I don't know if that's number one, but it's a general time. Probably.
That's good to know. Good to know.
And then a number one just outside the realm here, Fear Effect. We gave it 24.
Oh, yeah, the cell shaded one.
Yeah, back on November 21st. So
Oh, yeah. That was a fucking fun one.
that was the one where they had like zombies in it, and they were
Mm-hmm. There were zombies at parts of it.
the zombies came out of nowhere. Is basically what I was trying to say. And they really sexualized the woman that was the main character of the game.
Yep.
Like, too much.
She used to work at a brothel or whatever.
Yeah, she was like, there was a whole shower sequence,
Yeah.
which was hilarious because it's like, let's make this PS1 graphics sexy.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was
just-
shading.
Not enough pixels to make this look vaguely like a person's body.
They tried. They tried.
God bless those perverts. They did their best. They did their best.
Good for them.
I did end up buying that game, and I think the seller, like in transit, didn't wrap it very well, and the case got damaged.
Just the case or the pages?
Yeah, just the case. But it's like a 4 fucking disc game.
Oh, so it's a unique case.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's the two, like the double case holder, but it like folds out. You know what I mean? You've seen them. I'm sure
Yeah,
you've seen them.
yeah,
We
that's
we
wild.
grew up with discs, but I should play that. I should play some of these PS1 games. I got all the stuff. I can hook it up to the stream. Well, let's
Yeah.
not get ahead of ourselves. I got to play the card game shop. I got to play Inscription.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
plenty of shit to do, man.
You already started Inscription.
Did I? I think I did.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah, it's free.
Started last week.
Yep. Sure did. Yep. Sure did. I was actually going to stream the other week and I fell asleep before I could get on.
Oh, fuck. I know. I was waiting for you.
It's weird how you know that's
You
going to happen.
I was waiting for the text.
You weren't. And then another one just outside, The Evil Within.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to pick the DLC to that sometime soon so we can get more insight into actually the story.
What the hell was that one?
The one where he ended up in the like insane asylum and then he was in the guy's brain. He was just kind of being taken out and he gets stuck in that machine.
Oh, okay. Is that the one with all the machines? Like a whole bunch of people? doing
Yes.
the Same thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Is the DLC basically the woman's story?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about it briefly when we talked about the episode.
It seemed like that Fallout mission where everyone could get in a virtual reality machine.
Tenpenny City.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called.
Well, did you know, Dr. Scientist, that in Fallout 4, when you're building your own settlement, you can actually build one of those pods, go into some of those worlds.
I didn't even fucking know that.
Yeah, you absolutely can. You can do that. Just saying.
Oh, interesting. I might have to play Fallout 4 again.
I revisited this year. I put a lot of hours into it, and I had fun.
Yeah,
and then
I'm jonesing for a Fallout, you know? I mean, I tried Dead Island too, but it just doesn't scratch the Fallout itch.
No, Fallout 4 is good, especially if you figure out how to load the mods into your game. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I might check it out. I think I said that last year too.
Well, it's worth it on PS5.
All right.
I think didn't they release a PS5 version for the show? Well, that's another thing that happened this year. The show came out and it was great.
Oh, fuck. That
I
was
still
this
haven't
year.
watched it.
You should check it out,
I'll
man.
get around to it sometime.
It's actually really good.
It's very good. They finished, or not finished. They are in the process of filming the second season right now.
Yeah. I'm not even a fan of seasonal shows, but that one hit.
I thought it was great. I want to watch it again. I'll probably do it one of these weeks when
That's a good idea. Rewatch that.
when I'm home. We did do an episode about it back in May,
Oh, yeah. I rewatched the whole thing. And
where you and I
Talk about it.
discussed.
yeah,
What a great show.
definitely. I'd love to see it. Are they doing a second Twisted Metal?
Yes.
I didn't watch that either. They're on my list to get to eventually at some point.
Dude, Twisted Metal was fucking good too.
Was that also this year? Did we talk about it this year?
I don't know if it was this year, but
We didn't do an episode about it.
no, but it was damn good. I might have to rewatch that too.
I remember they were making the show and we're all just like, this is probably going to be crap, but I hope it's good. And then they released like a teaser where Sweet Tooth was beating up Anthony Mackie in an arcade, and it was so bad.
Yeah, the teaser made it look like shit.
The teaser did the opposite of what a teaser is supposed to do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I was like, this is going to be shit. And then it came out and reviews started coming in, and even people who ripped apart the teaser were like, holy shit, we were wrong. This is actually great.
Yeah, who do you have on your fucking advertising team that made that fucking teaser?
It was bad.
It was garbage.
I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into it too much. You guys can go back and look at it or just watch the show because the show is pretty good.
Yeah, the show was
fun.
fucking a good time.
It reminded me a lot of Death Car. Is that what it is? Death Race, Death Car,
Blood car?
Blood Car,
Blood Death?
Car.
I think it's blood. The one that you need blood to run your cars.
Not the movie, the TV show.
Yeah, I never watched the show.
I was the only one that watched the show, I think, and it was so fucking weird, and it was great.
Was it? Damn, I gotta watch that now. Let me write that down. Fucking A.
Is it Blood Drive? There it is.
Yeah, what's that on? Because I'm very limited to my streaming.
Dude, fuck if I know. It aired on like Sci-Fi for one season in 2017. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Sounds about right.
We'll put our heads together. I think the main guy, didn't he go on to play that guy in that show that's blowing up, the Reacher show right now?
What the
Maybe.
fuck are you talking about?
He's
Reach
he's the
around.
main. He's Jack Reacher in the show Reacher on Amazon. It's very big. The dude. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
I don't
We'll
know.
move
I
on.
I'm
thought-
waiting
It's
for him to
fine.
say the number 5
I
game.
thought that
don't
was
know. I'm
John
tuned out.
Krasinski.
Yeah, so did I.
No,
He was Jack
play
Reacher.
Jack.
Wasn't he
he
Reacher on
wasn't.
the Amazon?
Yeah, I thought so.
No, he was in the fucking Tom Clancy universe, but he wasn't playing Jack Reacher.
Oh, was there a different
think.
show? Oh, you're talking about Alan Richardson?
I am talking about Alan Richardson. He's Jack Ryan.
Oh, that's right. That's
Same
right.
thing.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I think they are the exact.
Yeah, this guy's just like a buffed version of a.
Do you remember during the pandemic when he did that YouTube thing, John Krasinski, about some good news, and they talked about good news, and then he sold it to CBS for like 18 million?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
whatever
was
happened
weird,
to that?
right? That was weird, right?
I thought it was
Yeah, it
weird.
was kind of weird, but
Okay.
hey, whatever.
He just made money out of nothing. Good for him.
Yeah, isn't that what all billionaires do?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, this is going to be depressing. So let's just go and move into the games here. How
let's go
about
into
it?
the games.
All
Let's
right.
go.
All right. So number 5 in 2024. We should play a sound clip. We got the soundboard or whatever, right?
When you eat farts in a bathtub.
There we go. Perfect.
What?
Did meat fucked in a bathtub?
When you eat farts in a bathtub. When you eat farts in a bathtub. Oh, eat farts in a bathtub. Yeah. You can fuck food all you want.
I
All right.
forgot about that button. That goes well
He
with,
fucks it.
that was a classic.
Wow.
We got to bring these buttons back, man. I'm telling you.
You have the buttons.
I know. It's all
You have
me.
the power
It's
to bring
my
them
fault.
back anytime.
Like right now when I go
He fucks it.
like that,
Yeah, I need to fuck around with that.
I got to grow up. Jesus Christ.
No, you don't. Love cum jokes. I say it every day.
Okay, number 5 on our list. One we covered. The episode came out December 19th, 2024.
That was 2 weeks ago, and I don't even remember what it is.
A total score
Oh, yeah, I do.
of 30. Watch Dogs
Yep.
2.
Watch Dogs 2. Yeah, it was all right.
Oh, that was a great game. I still want to play it. I did download it.
We all know how I feel. I loved the game.
Yeah.
I just think it's too dated to think that people would actually care about companies making
It's so
money.
it's so
That's so
prescient about what is actually happening now.
It's so Occupy Wall Street from 20 years ago.
It's I don't want to use the word naive. I don't think that's the right word. I think it's so optimistic.
optimistic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like they believed at the time of when this game was being made, which I guess was 2015, because I think it came out 2016, pretty sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
That they believed back then if a CEO did crimes, they'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
I think that's adorable.
That is, I mean,
Like horrible crimes.
Yeah.
oh, you mean like what's going on?
In our world every day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Like now it's so obvious they don't get in trouble. But back then they're like, well, you know, if it was real bad, obviously they're going to go down. And we were like, you know, from 8 years in the future, like, well,
No.
Yeah, back in the day, we were very optimistic about.
The only way CEOs have anything is if they get Luigi'd, I guess.
I can't put that in the episode.
Yes, you can.
Why? It's a description of what is the only actual solution.
You pick it up really
They're not going to
fast
jail.
from the ground and you throw it hard, like Luigi did.
And then you
in
jump
Mario
really
2.
high, higher than the other ones.
Yeah, and you just kick your legs a little bit.
Yeah.
So
What do you
that's
think
what
we
you meant
meant?
by
All right.
Luigi. As
Or if
in,
we call it green hatting.
I didn't know we were workshopping names. Green hatting.
You have to keep it in now.
Yeah, because I'm going to definitely be bringing back green adding.
You're right. That's too good. I'm keeping it all in. It's all staying in. Great.
Yeah, I mean that's a bummer.
What I really loved about Watch Dogs 2, let's get back to talking about this. I've been to the Bay Area myself 4 or 5 times
Mm-hmm.
since
Yeah.
2018, And they get the feel of that area very correct. It's like when you play Grand Theft Auto 5, it feels like California.
Yeah, like Fallout 3. It feels like Washington, D.C.
Even Infamous 2, in the fictional San Marine, it feels like New Orleans.
Right.
Like they get the vibe of it correct. And I like how they do the approximations or, the scaled down versions of downtown and Silicon Valley and Oakland. And it's pretty cool. It's a great map. It's easy to get around. Your hacking tools like your flying drone and your motorized drone with a USB end or whatever it is. It's kind of like a droid. It's basically R2-D2. It's fun. They're fun to use. Like it's fun to solve the puzzles and use them. And I really enjoyed the game.
Yeah,
and
it
was
seemed
just
like a fun GTA with different types of things you can do.
I'd say give it a shot. It's
Or
a lot of
Infamous
fun.
or
I want to
whatever,
play it.
yeah.
I should play it again, maybe. I got to play Inscription first. Let's
You play
Yeah.
Inscription
one at a
first.
time, guys.
I'll play this.
One at
You
a time.
play Inscription. We'll get back
Perfect.
to you.
Perfect. So here we go. Let's play a clip from our episode back on December 19th, 2024 with Watch Dogs 2.
Green hatting though.
So you do a mission where you steal this car from a Jimmy Siska film.
Oh, Jimmy Siska.
Dude, that guy sucks at acting.
He's not great. He's this movie where DedSec is the bad guy, I guess, and he has this car that's kind of like Kit from Knight Rider.
Don't you think DedSec can't be the bad guy, right?
I think the hackers are the bad guys in the movie.
Oh, the hackers, not the. I was gonna say if DedSec's the hackers, why would they need to like spread their brand?
Well, that's the whole point of the game is to.
I know, but if they're already big enough to be in the movie, and then he's a
Oh yeah. No, it's just it was random.
Okay.
Whatever.
I thought I missed something.
Movie hackers.
So then what they're going to do is steal the car, the movie car, and they're going to use that to recut a trailer for the movie. So as they're getting ready for that, just really briefly, they steal a truck from the company called Home, Haum, who I think is like a smart home manufacturer type of company.
Yeah.
And they steal a robot off there, which Wrench then uses. And I just have they make the guy on TV look like a dick. Oh, they use the smart home to get into the home thing. Whatever. This is still another one of their side missions. And then we get our introduction to the other side of this, the CTO of Bloom, Dusan Nemec. Right now, we don't know much about him. He's just some fucking late 20s polished dude. He knows DedSec and he's aware of them, but he's like, well,
They make him
I
seem
got a
like
plan for
the
them.
bad guy hacker and hackers.
Yeah, exactly.
They definitely do, but I don't know if he ever even hacks. At least the bad guy hacker and hackers. I guess he was the white hat.
Oh yeah, he hacked back.
He
Well, I
hacked
assume
back.
he does if he's like secretly following them all the time. And
True. Well, he's got the whole grid watching him. He knows what they're doing at all times.
He's representative of like the system and big corporations and stuff like that. But there's also, in case you guys are wondering, a Scientology analog in this.
Oh yeah, remember this one? New Dawn? Is that what it
That
is?
is correct. They're not Scientology, by the way. That is not what we're talking about.
No.
But long story short, they're a religion that feels untouchable. And one of the members of this group is the previously mentioned Jimmy Siska.
Oh, bastard.
You do this really fun mission where you sneak in as an auditor to do a stress test on Jimmy Siska. And basically, he helps you find a New Dawn re-education center.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Room.
The Red Room, as he calls it. And then Councilwoman Miranda, who I don't know where their relationship comes from or how that happened. They just seem to know each other.
Yeah, she's like friends with Marcus somehow.
Miranda is friends with Marcus.
Yeah.
So you rescue Jimmy. He flips. He tells you all about their organization. And in this mission, you break into their HQ. You take these images of their ancient Sumerian tablets, which are extremely important to their religion. That's the basis of it, I guess. And you prove that they're all fake by knocking them over and they just kind of like fall apart.
So it's like the golden plates from Mormonism, but it's like just finding out they're all fake.
Exactly.
Right.
I follow that.
Okay.
And then, so these are all missions they're doing to get their rep up. They're always releasing these very cool videos after the fact that are branded in DedSec with, I would call it AI voice, but I guess it's just a voice modulator that changes,
Yeah. It's like anonymous shit that they used to do.
Yeah, back when they were cool, right?
Right. Before they all sold out.
So as we move on here, Josh realizes and uncovers that there's something wrong with their social media follower numbers. Like something's not adding up. And it turns out that their numbers were pumped up, like a bunch of them, 25% almost, were temporary invites to the company Invite, which I think is the universe's Twitter analog.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Marcus is like, well, this is weird. Why did someone create a bunch of bots and do this to our numbers? And then Marcus goes to find out, and he runs into Dushan. Dushan's like, oh yeah, I pumped those up because, I kind of need a villain to sell CTOS 2.0 to. So you guys are really helping me out by being the bad guys and saying, see, this is why we need CTOS, because of people like DedSec.
This is why we need more security.
Exactly. You need more security because of people like them. Look what they're doing to our nice company. And now a warrant's out for Marcus's arrest, so you have to deal with that.
That's a bummer.
So the group decides, let's go ahead. We lost this battle. Let's pull back a little. Let's just go to Burning Man, a.k.a. the Swelter Skelter Festival.
Well, they're getting laughed at online a lot.
Yeah, they are. They're getting it.
They're getting called script kiddies and shit. Oh, my goodness.
That's got to be so embarrassing to be called a script kitty. So anyway, they go to this Burning Man festival, and of course, they can't help themselves. Of course, there's a hacker challenge here, so they enter it. And you do it, you win the challenge, and then you meet a guy by the name of Raymond Kelly. He's the only character that was in the first Watch Dogs, by the way.
Yes. So this is like the Crash override.
It must be, right?
Because he's like old school, original hacker.
He was zero cool back then.
That's it. Damn it.
He's this Raymond Kenny's this legendary hacker who was running the challenge. And he's like, he's talking to Marcus. They're all doing psychedelics. And Marcus is like, well, I'm kind of screwed. I'm in their system. He's like, no, I can take care of that. No big deal. Just, it takes time, but you got to let me join up with you guys because I also hate Bloom and want to get back at them.
Nice.
And they're like, yeah, sure. Come on. Marcus is like, sure, come in. And even Sitar's like, do we trust this guy?
Yeah. It's like any random person coming up and saying, hey, I am zero cool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's sick.
You're in.
Yeah.
So Marcus takes him in. His values do align with theirs. It's very true. But I guess you don't know that yet. You have no way of knowing that unless you played the first game. Like they do allow you to take a lot of leaps here.
Yeah.
They require you to take a lot of leaps here. And so the next plan is to get back and get DedSec's name back out there, stop embarrassing themselves. So they figure, why not get a whole bunch of data? So they use Horatio and his day job at Noodle to break into the Noodle server farm and, install a back door so they can get all of Noodle's data.
All right. This is where Marcus breaks in as a bus driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
While he's wearing a DedSec hat and shirt the whole time.
Well, what's funny about that is it's just taking your rendered character model in game.
Oh,
so whatever your character was wearing.
Okay.
Which, they got a billion clothes in this game. I played it. I loved it. It will affect my rating.
Yeah.
So during this backdoor mission, there's also a fun thing going on here where Horatio is getting in trouble from his boss because his boss is kind of figuring out that he's a hacker and he's opening these back doors or, whatever. He's doing nefarious shit on company's time. So basically, they go in there, they steal Noodle's data, and they pin it all on Horatio's boss, and Horatio gets to walk out of it scot-free.
Oh, just in time, too.
And then the big reveal from all this data, the thing that kicks in the rest of the story in gear, is that Noodle and Bloom are, guess what? They're in bed together. Bloom's getting all of Noodle's data.
Not in cahoots.
What?
They're in cahoots. And then as they're celebrating, the small wins, they find out that they're being tailed by the FBI.
Of course.
Of course you were.
So they go out to find, there was a neat little mission where you try to find out who the hell was in this van that was surveilling you, that you finds out the FBI and you gotta fucking run, which was a pretty fun mission. But then out of nowhere, a part of the video I must have missed, but Horatio gets taken by the Tejas gang.
Yeah, some type of gang.
I don't know why he was taken by them or what the purpose was.
They wanted to get
killed.
them to hack for him.
Yeah. They knew he was a
DedSecker
insider, and they asked him names and shit. They wanted names.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't give them up.
Yeah, he wouldn't give them up, and he got killed by them for it.
Yeah.
And then it's played as a big emotional moment, obviously. And Marcus then takes this opportunity to kill all of their gang. You kill a lot of people in this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting moral system that they have. Also, like this gang, the Teos gang, there's like several different groups and gangs and factions. Think of it like Grand Theft Auto with the different gangs in different areas. Same concept. And around this time, Wrench starts hearing that there are vans following around hackers all over the city. It's not just them. And he thinks that something big is going to go down or is going down. And he's like, hey, how much do we all actually know about this Ray guy?
Yeah, it's very suspicious. He came around and all of a sudden there's vans everywhere.
So there's infighting, and then Wrench actually gets picked up and interrogated by the FBI. And then as he's getting interrogated, Deshaun walks into the room. And he's like, excuse me, call your boss. Go ahead. I dare you. I'm allowed to talk to this guy. So now we know who's really in charge here. It's Deshaun.
Oh, so this is where it touches on reality.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he wants him to just flip on DedSec and give him all up. And Deshaun wants Wrench to flip on DedSec, obviously. He's coming after him hard. And then DedSec finally gets the information that the FBI is extorting hackers to get their tools so they can use them against people and bypass like warrants and such. Those pesky constitutional things.
Makes sense, right?
So the team needs a way. They still need a way to get into Bloom. So they pick the obvious method, which is to hack a satellite that Bloom is launching into space.
Yeah, makes sense.
I was going to say, why don't you just piggyback a satellite?
Well, the reason they're piggybacking the satellite is because Bloom has effectively created their own goddamn global network, which just bypasses the world's undersea cables. Which is a
okay.
big
So this
deal.
is Skynet
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know what else we'd call it, right?
or Musk's fucking
Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Starlink was not even a thing when this game came out, huh?
I swear Musk watched this and got all his ideas from it.
Or found a company that was starting to do it and just bought it.
Because there's talk of like election rigging and shit too. It's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. This game's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be studied for years. So they find out through this data, hacking the satellites, that the Chinese are actually trying to hack the undersea cables via a barge. And long story, it's a big mission, whatever. Long story short, you steal a server off of the barge and the Chinese hackers get caught. So Bloom then takes this opportunity to spin this to the public. Like, you see, these hackers were the threat, but only Bloom can save them if you let us, give us all this access to all your data so we can take down these
Makes
people.
sense.
Yeah, but before this, they said Bloom knew already that the Chinese hackers were doing this, and they were just like letting it go.
Yeah, I think he was letting him do it so it could be another intrusion. Say, see, this is why you need our service.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think that was the plan all along. So next thing they do is break into Titus. I forget which company this is analoging, but they plant a robot that they stole back in Act 1. That's why I brought it up. The robot they stole from home.
Right.
That Wrench became very attached to in this time. And you drive this goofy ass robot through the building and you blow a massive EMP. So
I blow a massive EMP all the time.
just blow a massive EMP all over the walls, the ceiling, behind the toilet somehow. It's crazy. Well, all right. So we got to move this along. Marcus fights his way through, kills a bunch of people, and he finds out that this Titus company is making war robots, including spider bosses.
Of course.
Oh shit.
When you make a war, can't wait to see spider bots for real.
I know. Where are they?
Oh, they have them.
Yeah, they just haven't. You haven't seen them yet.
They're working out the kinks, but one day they'll just start showing up at protests and sucking people's blood
They
out.
send a couple to Mars just to test them out.
If they can do it on Mars, they can do it anywhere. So
It's true.
heads up for spider bosses. And they take all these like super secret projects that Titus was working on and just put them in a video and release it to the public and say look at these crazy assholes, as if the public would care.
No, not a single person would care.
Well,
No, they'd be like, fucking cool. Yeah, hashtag America. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, people would care, but nobody would do anything.
what can you do?
Exactly.
So then the next target is Congressman Thruss. Bad name, but we'll keep going anyway. They get into Invite again. You have to break into Invite again. And guess what? Install a backdoor on the server.
Oh.
And then they find out that Deshaun is basically rigging information to benefit Truss. So I don't know. I don't know if it was like the voting machines. The voting machines were involved here somehow.
Yeah, they hacked them and did something to them. I don't know.
So they find out that Deshaun is rigging the thing for Truss. They reverse engineer it, and then Truss starts taking the hit. And then they found out via this meeting that Deshaun is involved, blackmailing Truss. and he says, you're going to take this USB stick, you're going to hack the voting machines for me, Deshaun, or we're going to put out all this blackmail we have on you.
Yeah. Sounds great.
So Deshaun is trying to rig the voting machines in Thrust's favor, but DedSec thinks, well, we don't have any time. The only way we could really do anything is to blow up all the voting machines. That's the safest thing we can do.
Yeah, makes the most sense.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
So guess what? They blow them all up, and this puts Marcus on the Homeland Security list. So I guess it's now or never to go after Bloom, guys.
Yeah, you're a terrorist.
Yeah.
So everyone is in the field for this mission. You get to play as everybody for a little bit. Wrench destroys the backup servers in another building, like another location. Satara hacks Dushan's assistant, who is in a relationship with someone Dushan works with, one of his... I don't know. I lost the plot on that one. And Marcus goes into Bloom to get into the air-gapped computer, and he starts downloading everything to his phone. And now Marcus and Ray confront Dushan. They tell him, hey, all this stuff you were doing, the lies, all of it's out now. You're in deep shit, bro. And he's like, what are you going to do? And they're like, nothing. See you later. And then as they're leaving, the cops rush in to arrest him, which is hilarious that it would happen that quickly.
Yeah,
Someone like
that
that.
would happen at all.
It would never. The cops would never show up to arrest him. It would be like the police send a summons to his lawyers and say, "Hey, could you maybe come in, like for questioning?"
That might happen.
Dude, the whole thing became fantasy right there when the cops came in and started taking people down. Right.
And then the group celebrates back at HQ that they took down Bloom, and then that's the end of the game. Well, there you go. I mean, it was only a few weeks ago, but holy shit, were we eloquent.
Yeah, we were fucking funny as fuck.
Dude,
And correct.
Yeah.
And accurate.
Oh, yeah. Obviously accurate, but so good.
Yeah, I can't say enough about that game. It's so good.
Yeah. Can't wait to play it.
Let's move it on. Number 4. This game we covered way back May 16th, 2024. And don't worry, I didn't mention who picked number 5, but we're going to get into who picked which game at some point.
Is this the first time in 6 years that Poppascotch is going to be on it?
He picked number 5.
Maybe.
All right.
Now,
describe number 4. Maybe we can guess.
So both 4 and 3 have the same score. They both have a score of 32.
Okay.
So I'm going alphabetically at this point.
All right.
So number 4, we talked about, February 15th, 2024.
Ooh. No way. I can't remember.
Deadly Premonition.
What the fuck was that?
Do we not remember this? It
No.
was a Poppascotch pick.
Ooh. No wonder he eased us into that.
Yeah. I think he's making it up.
No, we covered this game.
Describe what
Where
happens
is
in
it?
the game.
Yeah.
It is a Francis York Morgan investigates the murder of 18-year-old Anna Graham in the rural town of Greenvale, Washington.
Oh, with all the ghosts and shit.
Yeah. It's really fucking weird. It's like Twin Peaksy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes the case due to the manner of the killing, a ritualistic murder of a young woman where red seeds had been found on or near the body.
Right.
So he's a guy looking for the serial killer all over the country.
That was an interesting one. I do remember that.
The raincoat killer, who,
Yeah.
according to the folklore of the town, kills only when it rains.
And he travels around selling seeds to people.
Oh, and there's that, like, they grow out of their stomachs or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was really weird. I did enjoy it, though.
Yeah.
It was
it's pretty
good. It was one of those cult classic ones. I think it's one of the games that's like, they didn't release many of them, especially in English, so it goes on eBay for an asinine amount of money.
So it's one that
Yeah,
you
that's what
couldn't get.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I remember it.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't well received in the States, so they never.
It was just fucking weird at points.
Yeah.
Like he's eating. It was trying to be too Twin Peaksy.
That's the
but
one
it was
where he
still
gets
good.
like a car accident when he comes into town, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they find him on a bridge
And there's
or
like a
something.
scene of him drinking coffee with the fucking just
Right.
talking.
Eating pie. Yeah.
Like $70. That's not that expensive. Anyway, I remember this being like a cult classic. Like a lot of people talking about it and saying how much they love it. And I remember the name, but I don't remember it coming out.
Yeah, I remember the name. People talked about it a lot, but
It came out, apparently it was PS3 era. So
What year was
I forget
that?
exactly when. 20...
Oh, wait.
2010 for PS3, Xbox 360.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what I was doing.
for some
that
reason
year.
I thought it was a exclusive to Xbox.
It might have started as that. That's why we didn't know about it.
Maybe.
Might have been. That would explain, because I mean, how many years did it take us to play Alan Wake?
For real.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably in the wiki somewhere I'm not seeing here, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Who
man.
cares?
It was a good game. Fourth
It was
best one we did this
yeah.
year.
It was very interesting. Well, tied for third.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gave it a 32, released in February. Well, I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and play the clip.
Yeah, let's check out that fucking Twin Peaks shit.
On the phone with someone. Then you slowly realize it's about the cartoon Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. He's driving a fucking Mustang too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? I didn't notice that. I just was focused on his conversation about like codependency and
Yeah. And then they said Tom and Jerry. I was like, really? Okay.
do kids know who Tom and Jerry are anymore? Are they still like playing on Saturday mornings, or are they around at all?
I'm sure they've been referenced in new stuff that came out, so kids probably know something about them.
Well, he just closed this wild case that gave his face all kinds of cuts, and then he sees something on the road. It could be a ghost, could be a person, crashes his car, and he has to walk to town.
Oh, okay.
And then he makes his way into town, and he finds Emily Wyatt, the Greenville deputy sheriff. And I thought it was really weird, the exchange where she's like, did you walk all the way here? And he goes, my car broke down is all.
Yeah.
What was that about?
I would have been like, did you wait here this fucking long?
Yeah, because she's just like on a bridge somewhere.
Yeah, and if he was driving, he should have been there way earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I thought it was weird.
But I guess like the sheriff went on foot to go find him while she was just standing. So
whatever.
he does this inner monologue thing where he like talks to himself and he refers to himself as Zach.
I think it's an external monologue.
Yeah, I think
Dialogue.
Yeah, it's a good
not
point.
allowed.
You're right. It's not an inner monologue. It's an extra monologue. That's the wrong
When I
word.
was watching, I thought he was talking to like the player, like you were another part of his personality.
Yeah. No, he's just talking to some Zach dude.
And he's a chain smoker.
Fucking A, he is.
And he looks fucking cool doing it, right?
No.
I thought so. Made me want to start again.
God, I miss smoking.
So do I.
So you meet the second best name, George Woodman, as the sheriff of the town. And he's like, hey, look,
Why does he talk like Long Island Sal?
I know what you're talking about, first of all. But he's like, hey, look, here are the ground rules. I'm in charge of my investigation. And York's just like, whatever, dude. I'm here to like take cases to create a profile for a killer. And everyone's like, okay. So they all go to the morgue to check out this body that was found.
Mhm.
This is the impetus of bringing York into Greenville. There was a body that was found. He's like, that might be part of this thing I got working on here. So he goes to check it out.
Yeah, he investigates serial murders and shit.
Right.
Like real Mindhunter shit.
Yeah. And the sheriff's always like, every sheriff that has an FBI agent in their town, like, well, this is my fucking jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, every time, every show, they just butt heads.
I'm going to make a movie where they're friends.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I want to see you start writing the script.
I did yesterday.
I don't believe it.
So then York gets to the morgue. He starts showing off his fucking, I just called him Batman detective skills,
Okay. Yeah.
where he's just like, the arm was like this and that meant this. And then the tongue is also cut out, which she had her tongue cut out. Her name was Anna. That's right. And then in her tongue, in her mouth, York pulls out a little tiny red seed.
Interesting.
He also says that the tongue was bitten off or
Yeah, he did kind of imply.
implied it. Yeah.
There was
Interesting.
teeth marks in it.
And then he's like, I found this red seed. This investigation's mine now. And then they're like, what the fuck? Why? And he pulls out a baggie with a shitload of those red seeds,
Yeah.
which, retrospect, is hilarious.
Yeah. Why is he carrying all this fucking evidence on him?
I guess that was to mean that these are all the bodies he found. These are all the seeds he pulled
Yeah,
out of
I get
people.
that, but why does he have it on him, on his person?
Right, yeah. Like, shouldn't it be in a locker somewhere? Why does he have to have all of them?
Yeah, I wrote that down too. Like he's just carrying around evidence with him.
Yeah. He's not really an FBI agent, is he?
I honestly, like, at several points, I was like, is this guy even real? Like, is this an FBI agent looking at a place? Why is he not calling anyone for help?
Yeah.
And why would they send one person? I don't get it.
Yeah, I've seen X-Files. It's usually two.
Yeah, for sure. So you talk to George, and he starts talking about this local legend, like some killer who wears a raincoat.
Oh, the Raincoat Killer, yeah.
Yeah. It's an urban legend, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a local urban legend. There's this killer. He only comes out when it's raining, blah, 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 blah. And York's like, well, you guys got to take your shirts off.
Obviously.
And they're like, fucking what? And he's like, the killer, from all these cases I've been looking at, has this huge back tattoo. So pop those shirts off. Let's make sure it's not you guys. The music, by the way, in these scenes are fucking wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they both take off their shirts. Emily's clear. George has all kinds of like scars on his back. And George is like, hey, see, I'm not the guy. Don't ask me about this shit. I don't want to talk about it. And then York's like, all right, don't ask me about Zach. And everyone's like, okay, we're all good here. And then wild, goofy ass jazz music plays them out.
I know.
I don't understand it.
I was looking for this soundtrack after I watched this.
Do you think they got a vinyl out?
I don't know.
So York continues on. He heads to a hotel room and finds a murdered woman hanging above the bathtub. It's a woman by the name of Becky Ames, and she's still alive.
Oh my God, we can ask her questions.
Thank goodness we can get some fucking info finally. She's actually like friends with Emily, like they know each other.
Small town, yeah.
Yeah, so they walk in. She's alive. George is like, "Oh, we gotta get her down from there." So he goes to like take wire cutters and cut off this metal wire she's hanging by, and everyone's like, "Wait, don't!" And then she like, I don't understand what happened here, but she died. Like he cut the wire and she got like strangled by the curtains.
Yeah, it was some weird thing.
Yeah, I think like there was wires that if she would be let down, they'd just strangle her like a noose. Weird.
Which is odd because no one like walked over and tried to lift her up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, everyone just sat there and watched her die. And then I don't understand if she was wearing like a red dress. Is that part of this? It was some kind of like tethered clothing.
Yeah, I don't know if it was anything to do with anything.
But as dead people normally do, she then barfs up a key and some more seeds. And
seeds just like the one he has?
Just exactly the red seeds. And the assistant to the sheriff, Thomas McLean, just starts puking his guts out in the back.
Yeah, classic.
Fucking weirdo too.
Yeah, Thomas McLean, like something's off there. And at the first I was like, oh, he's just probably like socially inept. But no, he's a killer. So York finds another body. This time it's in a museum, I believe, right? It's a museum.
Yeah, or just some type of art show.
Gallery or something.
Yeah, that's a word.
So York lets the cavalry in, and this woman by the name of Diane is hanging over some kind of huge modern art type statue, and she falls, and York jumps off the balcony, catches her in the middle of the air.
13 feet in the air.
It looked like so many more than that. Like there were so many steps leading up to that.
Yeah, he's just like, George, catch us. What?
It's only like a story.
I ain't catching two fucking people from a story. Are
You're
you
also
kidding
not
me?
in shape.
More in shape than George.
Ah, come on. That's not believable. That's bullshit, and you know it.
He can shape shift. It's not fair.
You might be a daywalker.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, skinwalker. Those are the ones. You ever see those videos on YouTube where people are like, it could be a skinwalker, and it's like that's not even the right
I'm not
lore.
gonna waste my time watching stupid shit.
All right, so we all knew you weren't cool. So now we know for sure. And I do have in the note here, grabs the body of the air. So dumb.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Diane gets up and starts talking about the piece like a curator would. Because, well, I think she was
the curator, yeah.
But she starts just going into the spiel she has about the piece. And everyone's like, what is going on? And then she starts vomiting up all these red seeds.
Nice.
Yeah, like they couldn't figure out the red seeds is what's going on.
Yeah, it took way too long for them, even fucking York, to put this together.
Right.
Well, no one ever said he was good.
He could be a rookie. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I don't know if York even like solves cases or they're just like, this guy's so fucking weird. Just send him out there. Just send him out
Yeah.
by himself. And then Diane's husband or boyfriend, Nick, he gets up and he pushes George, saying, no, what's going on? And it knocks over the statue, which crushes Diane.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that statue was fucking real weak, and I don't know. It was really heavy for them to try to push it, but then it just fell over.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense how it was easy to topple, but so heavy it would just immediately crush her.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Well, it only needs to be top heavy to be easy to topple.
I suppose, but it was kind of like it was a tree, wasn't it? And that's the whole
Yeah.
imagery of this. But
Was it
anyway,
a tree?
so
I thought it was like an angel of some sort.
Well, didn't you hear Diane talking about it?
Yeah, well, she got her tongue cut out, so I couldn't really.
Well, she was like, the points point off in the infinity, and then that's all I got.
no, it's real good.
Thanks.
And then, so she's crushed, and then this dog walks in and leads you away, and I'm like, what is happening here? I think I wrote down the dog's name somewhere here. I don't have it right here, but there's this dog that's just like fucking lassying this shit. It's like, come with me. It doesn't say come with me, but it barks a lot, and you're like, what? Boy, should I follow you?
It's like he must
It'll
know
be
where
back.
these seeds came from.
He must know something about what's going on here.
Yeah.
And there's more wild ass jazz. We make our way into what I have as I wrote originally as a 1930s speakeasy, but I think that was just the sexy dungeon.
Obviously, yes.
Suddenly we're in some kind of weird mind space with a child and their dead mother. Their dead mother.
His mother was a mutter.
Jesus Christ, I'm rusty. So this is a good time to stop and talk.
Stock and talk.
Stop and talk about 1956.
Fuck me running. All right. No, this is a good time.
Do you want Chump Slap to just take over for you?
Like, I am 100% sober, by the way. I just can't fucking talk.
It's cool, man. It's been 6 weeks.
I mean, I'm always sober. I'm always sober, buddies. Always.
Yeah, always.
Always.
There's different spiritual planes, and there's theories to how these two operate, right? There's the real world. That's like the world of the characters, the world they're in. You know, it's quote unquote the real world to them. And then there's also this spiritual world that has been called and referred to as the forest. Now, I also want to reiterate that this is the most accepted theory, but this is not spelled out for the person playing the game.
Right.
They call this spiritual world the forest. It's backed up because Diane, who just got crushed, was obsessed with the concept of a forest. Everything in the game centers around trees. There's a lot of tree imagery everywhere. The upside down peace symbol back tat is actually a tree.
Wait,
That's
what?
where that came from.
Get the fuck out. I missed that.
And then there's a moment where these two weird twins say they murdered a woman that should be the guardian of the tree, which is like a piece of a story we didn't even get told anywhere. And then also the forest is where Zach sees the spirits. Wait, Zach? Who's Zach?
Zach
Zach's-
is Francis York.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
know that yet, but
Well, it's the place where York sees the spirits that are dead at the end of the movie.
Right.
End of the video game, movie, game, whatever. So then within the spiritual world that's called the forest, there's two other separate spiritual planes. There's the red tree, which is the red area you go to. And in the game, it's kind of like a save room. Like you go there often.
Yeah.
That's where the red tree is. That's where the malevolent chaotic forces are. And then there's the white tree, which is the white world. That's just, everything's bleached out in white. And that's where the more orderly forces are.
Right.
Okay, so the red world wants to spread out and grab power. The white world is just fine with standing by and letting things shake out how they shake out. They only intervene when the red world gets just completely out of line, out of control.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of background about these different spiritual planes and what's going on with this fucking game. But then we see an old-timey newsreel. This is back to the game, by the way. So we see this old-timey newsreel style from like 50 years ago where this guy is talking about like a purple reddish fog, and then everyone was just going buck and just killing each other. And then some guy in a raincoat was just like fucking crushing it out there, just murdering left and right.
winning the
Just having
murder
a
rule
great time.
games.
Yeah, he was really good at it.
It was
was
like a Hunger
ruling
Games
murder.
kind of thing.
Yeah, everyone was just like going psycho and killing each other.
Right.
And now that we're back in the sex dungeon, York gets clubbed by the singer from that nightclub, and I believe her name is Carol. That's where she comes in.
Yeah, is it?
I think so.
It is. I was just fucking with you.
Well, no, because there's a point where Thomas comes back and is dressed like Carol, and I thought the first time I watched it that they were the same person, but Carol was like a side of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. That's what I
Like
thought.
leading two lives. But I think they're different people because they're both at the end in the woods.
All right.
Separately. So anyway, the dog showed them the sex dungeon, by the way. I had a nice little thing with it. And then
As good
at the
dogs
sex
do.
dungeon, George and Emily show up. They found one of York's SIGs because York was there first. They came in. They can't find York. They find one of his SIGs because, he just got knocked out. And Carol has also been missing. So they decide to investigate the dungeon. This is where the dog, this is where he's named Willie, tracks the scent of York. And Kaysen, who is a character that we just ran into, who's a tree salesman who looks like one of the Duke boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking nailed it.
He's been traveling around selling trees for a while.
He's a grower, not a shower.
He's here now, and he seems very friendly and very willing to help. And I guess everyone just knows him, right?
Yeah,
He's like a
been
man
coming to
about town.
for years.
That's why there's a forest around there.
There you go, putting it together.
Pine trees as far as the eye could see.
So Emily gets to some kind of, I'm going to go ahead and say clock tower,
I wrote that
Situation?
clock tower.
and finds Thomas. Remember the assistant, the sheriff's assistant from way back when?
Yep.
And he was the one that kidnapped York.
Whoa, why?
Well, apparently he's the killer.
Is he?
Yeah, York put it together. Right when he put it together, he got kidnapped.
But is he though?
So then Emily sees him, tries to talk him down and be like, yo, I see you're going through some stuff. I'm your friend. Let's put down the weapon. Let's just figure this out, right? And Thomas is like he snaps out. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about this whole thing. I don't know what's going and she's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And then there was a double cross. And he's like, ha ha.
What happened?
gotcha. And she's like, ah, fuck. And then Willie the dog comes to help. And then he's like, oh, God, the jig is up. So he jumps off a platform. And then I'm going to go ahead and just say the term self-impales himself on a hook.
Self-impales himself.
Not before he fights with the dog a little bit. Then his knife gets thrown up in the air and stabs himself in the chest.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Before he falls onto the hook.
Gentlemen,
Fucks.
We were on it that day, dude.
couple of cut-ups, am I right?
Seriously.
Oh, February 2024 us. I'll tell you what.
I miss that.
Me too.
Yeah, those naive days.
All right, so let's move on to number 3 here, gentlemen. With the exact same score of 32, this game we discussed back on May 16th, 2024. It is a Dr. Syintist pick. Do you guys have a guess?
Psychonauts.
Not Psychonauts.
What type of game is it?
Yeah.
It is a single-player survival horror released for the Dreamcast.
The Evil Within.
No,
Dreamcast.
it's not the Evil.
The Evil Within
Dreamcast.
5, wasn't
Remember?
it?
I was gonna say, is this the one that's that
That was an honorable mention of the Evil Within.
that where we fought the crazy guys in space at the end?
Oh, was that this year?
Was that this year? That might have been last year.
I think that was last year.
That Blue Stinger? Is that what you're talking
No.
about?
No. The one with the
one where you could choose like one of 3 gods,
Lovecraftian,
and then
yeah.
you can. There were different endings.
Oh, that fucking game. No, I have that. Let me find it.
I think that was last year.
Yeah, definitely.
That was last year. Towards the end of the year, it was like a N64 exclusive.
Survival horror game we did this year.
from the Dreamcast. He said
This one I'm talking about, yes, Dreamcast. Fuck, what was it?
survival horror. Give us a little something more.
It was for the Dreamcast.
Yes, we get that.
Okay, it was released in the East first, and
The picture taking 2.
Fatal Frame 2? No.
Was that?
no, it's not Fatal Frame 2. I'll give you a hint. Main character's name is Erico Christie. He's a high school student and horror aficionado.
Oh, that one where they go to the high school that's dead?
Yes, it is Illbleed.
Illbleed.
Oh.
Yes. That was a good one, actually.
Man, I completely forgot that game.
Holy shit.
That was this year?
Yeah,
Oh,
way back
February.
in May.
Oh, May.
This one was May. February was Deadly Premonition.
Yeah.
Illbleed, the player explores 6 stages, each an amusement park
Yeah.
attraction themed after a different
The
fictional
amusement park.
horror
I would
film.
have never gotten the name, but the amusement park brings it back.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, your dad made this whole thing to find you and
To scare you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, that was a good game.
The player begins by controlling the protagonist, Erico Christie, but as they progress, they rescue and recruit more playable characters, each with their own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
So-
Every level was different. There was
Yeah.
that fucking weird, horny Toy Story level.
Yeah, the only Toy Story level. There was the one that was in the graveyard, and
Yeah.
there was the baseball one.
Were those engineers that were like doing the shit?
Oh yeah, the kind of meta one where all that. The superhero that was kind of going around.
Damn, I kind of want to fucking play that.
Is it? I don't know if can you get it still.
I don't think you can.
Probably not.
Wait, is this the one where they're at the school and they heard of that crazy horror attraction that like
They get tickets.
Yeah.
for
Fucking
it.
she
murders
starts out
people?
with she's reading like her valedictorian speech or
Yeah,
whatever.
and like 5 friends get tickets.
Yeah.
and they all want to go to this fucking attraction, and
and then she's like, but people go there and disappear, and they're like, yeah, it's fucking awesome. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
100 million to anyone who can successfully reach the end of the park. But it's heavily implied these kids die trying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And your idiot
there's,
friends are still
different
like, let's
endings, too,
do
if
it.
you save your friends.
yeah.
or
You
not.
can save all your friends and like get the ultimate ending or whatever. But
There's a reporter named Jorg.
Yep.
yep. Damn, I still wanted to play that when we went over it.
There's so many games we've done I just completely forgotten.
That are really good too.
And that was from this year.
Yeah, that's up there with like one
6
of the
months ago.
one of the ones I really wanted to play.
Yeah, it's
And I
out
totally forgot about it.
You probably have to get a Dreamcast to play it.
Yeah, I did buy the soundtrack though on vinyl.
Nice.
You should fucking save up if you want to buy a copy for Dreamcast because the cheapest one I'm seeing is $250.
Yeah, they need to re-release that.
The problem is those Dreamcast games that came in like the CD jewel case, they have the same problem as like Sega Saturn games. The cases they came in was made with such
Was
made with such cheap, shitty plastic that it didn't survive 20 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Any hoodles, he'll bleed.
Fucking great game.
Let's go ahead and let's
check it
listen to
out.
this clip where we sound like sexy. fuck.
Always so excited. She tells the story of how she was 6-year-old and being basically a guinea pig for her dad's horror experiments. And then her parents got divorced and she goes on this speech and whatever. And then her friends meet her outside and like, oh, the speech was awesome.
You're definitely going to win the speech competition.
Yeah, you're going to win the speech competition. She's like, I don't know. And that's where you meet Kevin and Randy, who are two of her friends. I didn't write their last names down because they're less important.
Matter.
And then another friend of yours, Michelle, comes up and she's like, look what I got. And she pulls out these tickets and it's tickets to Illbleed. And it's like, if you can spend a night at this terror casino or whatever, you can win $100 million, which is just.
Yeah, she has the right response to it. Like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, she's like, this can't be real.
Which, by the way, no one has ever made it through, and they magically go missing whenever they try.
Yeah, if you live through it.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, not only that, but if someone came up to me now and was like, oh, $100 million if you stay in this thing, I was like, yeah, okay. It's a scam,
It
right?
has to be impossible.
Yeah, you're going to kill me. That's what I'm going to assume.
This was $100 million 25 years ago almost.
Yeah.
So that's like, what, $1 billion now, right?
Yeah. And her friends are like, well, we fought for it. We're going.
We bought the tickets.
They didn't know. They didn't buy them. They got them. They were sent to them in the mail or they found them or something. They were given to them.
They had their names on them.
Well, they did have their names on them. But they're also very much like, we're going to be the first to do it. It's like they don't care about the money as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, we're going to be the first to survive this death trap.
Dude, imagine if the three of us would have won $100 million in 2001.
Wouldn't be
Things
doing
would be
this.
different.
I'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I'd be alive. Yeah, I would have been, what, math old.
Yeah. I would
We
have
don't
been
need
just
to
out
I
of
would have been 21.
high school.
In 2001, yeah, I would have been 18.
Would have been great.
Oof.
Hookers and blow, man. Hookers and blow. And then, amazingly, 3 days go by, and Erica's like, I haven't heard from my friends who went to this crazy thing. So she goes to the Illbleed to try and find her friends. And she gets there, and there's a guy, I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
He was mumbling.
Yeah. And she's like, where are my friends? He's like, blah, 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 blah. And eventually she just goes in. And the game is set up once you go in. It's kind of like a carnival, sort of.
You
where you can go to
different
different things at a time. Amazingly, this was one of the games where watching the speedrun explained much more of the story than the the cutscene movie did.
Yeah. The fan wiki didn't even have much more than
Yeah.
the regular wiki here.
But you can go, I think you have to go in a certain order. I never saw anybody run it in a different order. But what it is, then you go and you have to do these.
Maybe they're locked until you do
Yeah,
one.
do these things. And the first one she goes into is each one's set in a different kind of like horror genre, kind of like reimagining.
Yeah. According to the wiki, they're about movies.
Yeah, they're based on movies.
So I feel like this is Field of Dreams, the first one.
I assumed it was like Amityville,
I didn't understand.
but it's a story of a guy was raising his kid and they were playing baseball and he built a baseball stadium in the house. Like a big one.
Yeah, in the basement.
In the basement. And then some other kids burned down the house and his kid died and he was deformed. So these are all obviously not true stories. They're made up just for the horror aspect of it.
Yeah.
And so now and they have these weird names. This one's called Home Run of Death.
Mm-hmm.
The presentation reminded me a lot of like The Simpsons Halloween.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's like a B-movie
what
style.
kind of horror movie did this remind you of? You're the horror expert, Poppascotch.
I couldn't figure out this one.
No, I couldn't either. A guy who was accidentally burned.
I'm just thinking
fucking
any
baseball
haunted house
field
one,
movie.
kind of basically. But as you're going through, you find a bat, and it's haunted with the ghost of the guy's kid, and you can use it.
Jimmy?
Jimmy, is that the name of the kid?
Yeah.
And there's also, I should talk about this quick before you do the rest of the game. There's a mechanic in the game. You don't really like die from enemies hitting you. You die from them bleeding, and then you bleed out, depending on how long it goes. But to go through the game, it's like you have to search for where traps are and locate them and then disarm the traps as you go through the level and to avoid them. It's kind of weird.
You do that with the special goggles, right?
Yeah. You find them in every level and you go. It's kind of weird. Really different than any other kind of game I've seen ever, probably.
Yeah.
So I'll give it points for that. But anyway, you're going around. You eventually get to the basement where this baseball thing is set up, and the burn monster guy starts chasing you there. And he chases you around the house. You eventually get to underneath, and there's like this labyrinth area. And you see Kevin, your old friend, on the ground, still alive after 3 days.
Oh, shit.
Not Kevin.
There's also a mechanic in this game where you can rescue one of your friends in most stages or somebody, and then you can play as them in other stages.
I think you can rescue them all.
Oh, I think there's more stages than friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
But and then you can also let them die if you can't save them in time, whatever. But if you do save them, you can play as them in different levels. But we'll just do everyone as if it's Erico playing it.
Okay, that's probably easier.
So you guys get chased down. You can save or not save Kevin. Then you set the monster on fire and escape. And then all of a sudden you end up in this room where there's a big version of the ghost monster, the burned guy, and trying to swipe at you and kill you. And you're like platforming across these little things to get there. And eventually you can get into the control room for this monster that's hitting you.
What? Meta.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get
So then this guy's there controlling the monster. And Erico goes apeshit with the bat and beats him up, but it's just a robot controlling the monster.
What? This must have cost a fortune to make.
I know. It's not easy. And then eventually the monster stops and you get out. So that's the first stage.
First level.
The second stage should be Chump Slap favorite because it's based on Tremors.
Oh, yes. Revenge of the Queen Worm.
Yeah, Revenge of the Queen Worm set in an RV park where people go and nobody survives apparently. And they're just attacked by these worms.
Yep, I was digging it.
All I wrote was a creepy guy with a baby bottle. I don't even know what that was. But apparently this drug company made these worms and it kind of like, it turned everybody into worms or whatever. And then this guy's kind of missing his worm and he's dead. And then it involves with ghosts and worms. It's a really fucked up story.
Yeah.
And then eventually you kill the worm and then the worm ghost can reunite with the dad ghost worm or whatever.
Well, the dad was just a regular dude and he lost his child. And you're like, oh my God, this giant worm is actually his child.
Yeah. And then the worm and him go to heaven or hell. I believe they go to hell together.
He says, let's go back to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have that quote written down.
At this point in my notes is where I wrote, this is a slappy game.
Fuck yeah, man.
It's very slappy.
I was digging it when he's like, let's go back to hell.
Yeah, I know. It was interesting. I'll give it that. So the next one is set in a logging facility where the guy built the world's fastest chainsaw to cut.
Best chainsaw ever, dude.
The biggest, fastest chainsaw.
Awesome.
And apparently the story is that there's this haunted tree and then the tree took over everybody else. And
well, it eats the guy who's trying to cut it down.
Yeah.
The last picture they have is him in front of that tree.
Yep. And then he disappears. And then people keep disappearing. And that's the story of this one. And in this level, Erico gets turned, or whoever you are, gets turned into a wooden doll and you're chased around by lumberjacks. It's really fucked up.
Yeah. I thought that was neat.
It was. They're wood puppets. Yeah. And then there's like a bunch of roots that attack during the level and stuff. And
yeah,
I did like when it turned into the doll and then you have to run around trying to avoid getting into fights. Cause that's how you get encounters too, is people like run into you. You have to try and avoid try and avoid the lumberjacks trying to run into you.
Were they like lumberjack zombies?
They're automatons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe they were just people. Well, they were robots made up as people. I don't believe they were supposed to be zombies.
Yeah, they're just supposed to be lumberjacks who worked at this mill that were trying to kill the wooden people.
Now, did you run into one of the lumberjacks in the beginning who didn't like speak prop? That guy? Was that a lumberjack?
Oh, I don't know. I just assumed he was the guy taking the tickets.
He did kind of look like him now that I'm thinking about it.
Maybe they just used like a same character model.
Yeah.
But eventually, if you get through that level, you get turned into a human again and you beat the tree spirit, and that's it.
There's a great part here when you get to the boss level and you're like, there's a bunch of workers there and like, we're having trouble getting this boss to pop out.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. He's like, yeah, we open the floor and nothing's happening.
He's like, you can jump down there and do it. That was neat.
Also, in this level, your friend Kevin or Randy's there and you can save him, but you also need to find his brain in the level. And if you don't, you can save him and he's kind of like dumb the whole time you play him.
Oh, that's neat.
But yeah, I forgot about that. You can't get this boss to pop out. Did you lube the thing? He's like, yeah, I lubed it.
Yeah, of course.
And then the next one is set at a department store about this guy who's greedy. Cashman, which is a very on the nose name.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great.
And he owned like a mall and then his mall started failing and he got pissed off at all the people who didn't come buy his shit.
Yeah, that's the best story of a fucking.
I know, it's very capitalist.
Murderer. Yeah.
Capitalism at its best. You didn't
Why
buy
should
from
I
me?
change?
Come to my blowout sale and I'll fucking murder all of you.
And he creates monsters to steal people's souls. And I just wrote a bunch of various things. Like there's weird toys all over, giant cockroaches that'll talk to you too. But
Yeah, weird cake monster.
Yeah, cake monsters. There's a doll that goes around that plays games with you in the level, plays tag, plays other things. Well,
I was pretty confused. I have like Cajun cook animatronic.
Yeah.
Mr. Meat's Steakhouse.
Yeah, it's kind of like a whole anything you could find in a mall, a haunted mall.
Yeah.
There's definitely a spider boss.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
we had to jump a rope, and if you get hit by the rope, you die.
Yeah, that was neat too.
Well, in the speedrun, he said you only lose like 2 health, but in the animation, blood was flying everywhere.
yeah.
But yeah, then it turns into a spider boss, and you can't beat the spider boss until you go to the control room and get the controller while the guy isn't looking, and then you can control the spider boss.
I love that too. When you're in the control room and the guy gets a call from his girlfriend.
Yeah, he's like, "No, I'm not at work."
Yeah. He's like, "No, I got time."
And he's distracted. You just go and take it.
Yeah.
And that was, I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed watching the cutscene movie after I knew everything about it, because just seeing those stupid guys talk about it. And
Yeah, just like the guys behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It was just like Cabin in the Woods with that.
And the next one behind the scenes is even better, because it's set in like New York, 1935. There's a serial killer who killed, I forget how, 39 people
in a month.
And they just called him Killer Man, which is the most uncreative serial killer name ever.
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
And then like these 66 years later, which is 2001, his MO came back, and he put stars on people's faces.
Yeah.
So you go to this level, and there's a lot of levels of meta in this one, because you get there and like there's people who work there in the costumes, like all the guys who work in all the other levels, and they're like, "There's a Killer Man costume missing."
A $20 million Killer Man costume.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, when you see what the Killer Man costume does,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
for real.
But then there's also, in this level, there's a reporter there who
Jorg
is there to investigate all the people dying at this attraction.
There should be more than one reporter looking into this.
I would think so.
Yeah, right?
And a bunch of cops,
Yeah.
even though the reporter would be the only one getting things done.
Oh,
Am I right?
Got him.
Got him.
But
good job.
In this level you can save Jorg. I don't know which level Michelle was in, but doesn't matter. And so then like the reporter's like, "There's the dead body," and the guy's like, "No, it's not a dead body anywhere." So you go around this level finding dead bodies basically, and it's funny because you can go in like the back of everything and you see stuff from other levels there, like cakes from the mall level.
Oh, really?
Or lumberjacks just standing there, like backup lumberjack robots and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so you're trying to figure out who the Killer Man is, and you're like, "Oh, it's this guy," and then that guy turns up dead.
Yeah,
And-
Jason. No, it's not Jason. He's dead.
Yeah, it's not Jason. No, this is dead Jason. And then
Oh, geez, and I got nothing. I don't know.
then it's like you think the boss is doing it. His name's Cunningham. And you eventually see like Killer Man a couple of times, and he disappears. And I like one of the quotes was like, "Athletes can't teleport."
Yeah. He's like, he's pretty athletic, so that makes sense. He's jumping around like that.
Yeah, and you find a bunch of other. You go through, and it's kind of like at one point you're supposed to be like, it stops, and you're like, if you guess this killer right, because I also forgot to explain, when you beat the levels, you get money to buy stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you can pick the correct killer, you win more money in this stage. And it shows a bunch of choices. And it's like Cunningham or Jason or something. And one of the choices is Killer Man.
Yeah. It was like the murderer.
Yeah, it's like the murderer is the murderer. That's the right choice.
Yeah.
It's still kind of funny. And I forgot the report. 100 visitors die a day, apparently.
He's like, oh, that's the morgue where hundreds of visitors die and their store.
They just burn the bodies when they die here.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
they signed the form,
Yeah, exactly.
so they should have done that.
and then it gets to this spot where Cunningham's stealing money from the building, and then Killer Man shows up and vaporizes them. And then you have to go fight Killer Man.
To win Jorg.
Yep, to enjoy. And that's that level. And Killer Man like teleports and stuff and shoots lasers. I can see how it's a $20 million costume.
Yeah.
And now for the most fucked up module, it's called Toy Hunter.
I love this one.
This is easily the slappiest module.
Dude, yeah. Right after I was watching this, I was like, this just gained so many points here.
It's basically the story of Toy Story, but set in like going to hell together.
Yeah. He looks like Indiana Jones mixed with Woody.
Yeah.
Gork.
Gork. Yeah. I'm a little turned on.
Oh, we're not back yet.
Oh.
I still turn on though.
No, we are. We are back. Yeah. I just,
Damn. That was fucking sexy.
Man, those are 3 games I didn't expect to be in our top ones for this year. That's good.
I didn't remember any one of those games that we did this year.
I know we just did Watch Dogs 2 weeks ago.
I didn't remember 2 of those games. But they were good. They were damn good.
They were damn good. We all enjoyed them, and it was definitely a situation where, Deadly Premonition, Ill Bleed, I also didn't remember until I started reading. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right.
And it's like,
everybody should go back and listen to all our episodes just so they remember all the games.
Right.
That's a
it's
good
like
point.
I've never heard of these games. And then we go over the story, and it's like, those are fucking good stories.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Can't believe you only gave it 32 points.
I know, going back.
Well, our system's perfect.
Yeah, it's flawless. We know.
Obviously.
So I don't any reason to think about these again, right?
No, but there they are. Top 5. Well, first 3 of the top 5.
Yeah.
There you go. Numbers 5, numbers 4, number 3. And if you guys have any ideas what number 2 or 1 could possibly be, and you wanted to get to us via email, how would you do that and tell us, fucking Chump Slap?
We send that to plottytime@gmail.com, and I'll read and respond. I'll be like, yo, fucking, we'll just wait a week.
Yeah. Tell us this objectively true thing we can all know by looking at it.
Or listen to them all again and tell me.
Yeah.
Well, if they memorized it and already knew what the number 1 and 2 slots were, and they wanted to get to us faster on the socials, how would they do that, Dr. Syintist?
At Plotty Time on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, possibly Blue Sky at some point, maybe by now, who knows? And definitely stop by our subreddit and, I don't know.
Say something.
Yeah. There's no point in guessing what the number 1 and 2 are. You're going to know next week.
You can also go to YouTube, like and subscribe there. It really helps us out for all your streaming VODs and other shit I've been doing. Just go to YouTube.
Check the shorts. Check the shorts.
Check the shorts. Yeah, watch those.
They're worth your time.
I laughed at one of them.
So did I.
We got gaming shit going on over there. Go check us out on YouTube. It's dope. That does it for us. So, as always, shout out to Blaine JJ, Drago the Slago, Gamer's Little Playground, I am Banix, and the one and only Luis Guzman. Do not trust Dr. Syintist, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.